You love. It's not for me to say. You love.
Hey nail fam, I hope that you are well. So I was on Amazon and I came across this little desktop vacuum cleaner and also this little inexpensive nail drill as well as some drill bits. So I just wanted to quickly show you guys these new things that I purchased off of Amazon. I did see this vacuum cleaner on Casey Nails YouTube channel first, and I thought like, well, that's really cute. I don't have a dust collector, so I thought that this might help me be able to clean up the dust. So here are the instructions and the product features, and tells you how to assemble. And here is how it looks once you take it out of the packaging. And you can see it doesn't look like anything special. It reminds me of those little bottle warmers for babies. But anyway, you're supposed to insert two AA batteries, I think, into this section here. Let me just quickly find some batteries. And here we go. And now I'm just going to go ahead and put them in, and then we can see how well this works. Okay, so you snap that back on, and there's an on and off button there. Okay, so there it is, and then you can hear like a little bit of the vacuum sound. So I kind of like slide it across my table. Although I don't have a lot of dust on the table now, so I can't really say for sure what kind of power or suction this little device does have, but it seems to be something very handy to have. It's like an inexpensive purchase. And then I was trying to figure out like, where does the dust go? Like once you clean up that dust off the desk, where does it go? So I was kind of having a little bit of issues trying to figure it out. So I did end up going back to look at the instructions, which is what I should have done from the get-go. And the instruction told me that at the bottom of this little device, there's another section that you kind of screw off, and the dust or potential dirt that it does vacuum up will go into a little slot. You slide that slot off, and then you'd empty it out just like that. So I was here for a good couple minutes trying to figure out how to take this bottom part off, and there was a button that said to push somewhere on the side of this thing. I really don't know why I spent so much time on this. So this is me trying to figure out where the button is, and I'm pushing my fingers into the sockets and stuff. Instead, I just look properly for the button that says push. So there it is. Ding dong. Silly me, okay? And that wasn't even easy to push. Like you really have to put your elbow and your back and everything into it just to get this little bottom portion off. But I just wanted to show you something inexpensive that might be helpful for those of us that don't have a vacuum cleaner. What's it called? Nail dust collector, something like that. You guys know the machine I'm talking about. Anywho, it was cheap, inexpensive. I got it, and we will see how well it works. All right, so now let's move on to these drill bits and this cheap nail drill that I purchased. Now I do have some acrylic videos to create on my channel coming up. So I bought these drill bits because I'm hoping that it'll help me to be able to smooth out my shaping, specifically the fine safety bit one that's in the center there. I did get some other drill bits from Shein. I think I got this multicolored set here from Shein, and I think that's like for the cuticle area to get my cuticles not looking so crusty, and it did help. And then I also got some ceramic bits as well, which I was told is for removing any acrylic and all that stuff. So if you didn't want to soak it off, you can kind of like remove it with the ceramic drill bits. So that's my current drill bit collection thus far. Now let's move on to this cheap nail drill that I saw. I am saving up for a proper nail drill. I have a small Melody Susie drill now, and I just wanted to upgrade to something a little bit bigger. The Melody Susie one works great. I've had that for over a year now. So I saw this cheap one from this brand called Amorus, I believe. And inside the box, you can see that there is a little pamphlet and some instructions on how to use the drill and how to use the little power box here. That's that little white disc looking thing here. So this set does also come with some drill bits as well and a few extra sanding bands. These look like the coarse ones. And then we also have like the little stand for the nail drill, the hand set, when you want to rest it down. And then we also have this little cord here, the adapter cord that you're going to be used to power this box here. And this is where you will see that at the back there, this has up to 30,000 RPM, which is really nice. Now, the little small Melody Susie drill I had was 25,000 RPM. So this is only like 5,000 more, but I liked how it looked. I felt like it was really cool. Looked really fancy, looked similar to the nail drills that I have seen floating around, and it was only less than 50 USD, so I thought I'd just give it a try. We gotta see if it works. That's the only thing. All right, so I'm gonna quickly plug this in to the socket, power it up to the back here, and then we're going to go ahead and turn this drill on, and let's see how well it is at no noise as well as not much shaking, because my other drill, it does vibrate a little bit, so this is said to not vibrate that much. Okay, so we have her nice and plugged in, and we have a nice beautiful LED screen, and as you can see here, there is a lock and an unlock feature onto this drill so that the drill bit will stay in place. So when you want to keep the drill bit in place, you make sure you twist it to the left and then you twist it to the right to open it up, and then you're able to remove the drill bits there. And then you can push in one of these other ones here. So we're going to put in this little mandrel one. We put on a little sanding band and just give it a quick test. All right, here is how the drill is looking once we have it all set up, and then you would just now need to power up the speed on this. You can go up to 30,000, but I like to stay within less than the 10,000 RPM. And when you're filing your natural nail, I definitely keep on the lower side. You could always increase the speed to your liking by using the plus and the negative sign. And then when you want to power this off, you can obviously just press the power button. There is a forward and a reverse button on this as well. So if you were using your right hand or your left hand, you're able to use a forward and reverse. And it is working really well. I am not getting any vibration at all. So seems to be a good drill thus far. We'll see how long it lasts me. All right, so now let's get into what I've actually been wanting to do. So Model Ones was kind enough to send me over this set of acrylic powders. I have already applied my half cover tips, and I've used some peel off base coat, and then I've used the press on glue from Bellavina. So those are the products that I use. So I'm going to be doing some acrylic nails today, but before I do the acrylic nails, I'm going to go ahead and swatch these colors. And I have been watching some acrylic nail tutorials, specifically one from Vee Nailed It. She's one of the nail YouTubers I follow here on YouTube. So I'm going to take the number 12 acrylic brush that Model One sent me. I have received a brush in a previous package as well. So I'm going to use the brush that I have already opened. And then they also sent me some monomer here as well. This is a larger bottle, but I already have a smaller bottle from the previous acrylic and dip kit that they sent me. So I'm going to finish off that smaller bottle and then use the dampen dish from that kit for this nail set. All right, so now let's get these swatch sticks ready. Oh, these are some nail forms, I believe you call them, but I really don't use them because I have not practiced enough with them. But yeah, I have my swatch sticks here. Just gonna go ahead and get my 8 swatch sticks. Then I'm gonna go ahead and open up all of the acrylic powders, and then we get into the swatches. Now, I already have a transparent one, and I've already swatched that transparent. So the transparent that came in this nude kit, I won't swatch because I've already swatched the transparent. So now let's go ahead and swatch the other colors. Now, it's supposed to be 7 colors. I do not know how I have 8 colors on this desk. I think I was going through the other acrylic powders that I had, and inadvertently I put one here and I can't remember which one it is. So I end up swatching, you know, all 8 of them, even though all 8 of these colors, one of these does not belong. One of these acrylics does not belong. I don't know. Anywho, let's get into the swatches. Now, I have used Modelones acrylics before, and I felt like they were very beginner friendly for someone like myself who hardly ever do or have done acrylic nails. So they are going on very smoothly onto these swatch sticks, and I am loving all of the beautiful colors. As you can see here, it's a pretty beautiful pink. So I'm gonna swatch maybe 2 more on camera, and then I'll swatch the rest off camera because this video is already long and we do need to get into the actual acrylic application, which I think you guys are going to kind of enjoy but get a good laugh at anyway. So stay tuned. We're going to be getting into the nail design very quickly. Okay, so here are all of these swatch sticks. I've swatched all of the colors. They are now all drying. Here is how they look once they have dried for a few minutes, and they are looking really well. So now let's get into the nail design. And as you guys know, if you are a longtime subscriber, you know that I hardly ever do acrylic overlay. Me and acrylic, you know, we haven't been getting along very well. But recently, I've been learning a few things, guys. So I'm hoping that I can take the feedback that you guys gave me on previous acrylic videos and from the tutorials that I've been watching. So the first thing that I'm going to do is pick up a medium bead. And when I watched Vee Nailed It, in her videos, she said you dip twice for a medium bead, you dip once for a small bead, you dip 3 times for a larger bead. So what I want to do is cover the nail, like 80% of this nail, with clear acrylic powder, transparent, and just cover that entire nail up. Sometimes when you're using acrylic powders that have like stronger colors, not in this case, like they can stain the nail. So what I've been watching is that you should just use the clear acrylic powder. I don't know if that's right. You guys can also leave some feedback down in this video. So I'm patting that clear acrylic powder into place onto the nails. I'm going to move on to the next one and then do all 5 nails. And while I'm doing my nails, I'm trying to remember every single thing. I'm trying to remember to point my fingers down so that the acrylic kind of flows down towards the tip of the nail. I'm trying to remember to wipe off my brush after I lay the bead down and just let the bead polymerize before I start to pat it down. I'm trying to remember to keep dipping into the monomer and keep the brush nice and moist. And then I'm trying to remember to pat the sidewalls and kind of, you know, be gentle and kind of slide the acrylic down, just kind of pat it down. So there are so many different steps you have to remember while you are doing acrylic nails. And I will tell you, I was here for at least 3 or 4 hours just for these 5 fingers. Okay, so once I did that first bead, which was on top of the apex area, or zone 2, I think they call it, I'm now going to zone 3, I think this is the tip of the nail, and I'm applying a bead to the tip of the nail, and then I'm going to kind of like slide it upwards and kind of meet where I left the last bead, so they will come together and try to even them two out. And I try to remember to take off any excess acrylic off of the brush and kind of pat everything into place. So far, this part of the nail was pretty straightforward and pretty easy for me. So here's all the nails done. I've applied that clear acrylic. Now let's move on to some colors. And for some reason, like the jars that these acrylic powders were in were kind of sticking to the mat. I'm thinking maybe the monomer did that. I'm not sure. Now let's get into me trying to apply these colored nude powders. I think these are called cover powders. I'm not sure. So take my first bead, flip it over, look at it, let it sit there on the brush for like a second or two, and then I try to pat it into the center of the nail. And I let it sit there for a second, and then I dip my brush back into the monomer, and I try to, you know, take off that excess, and then I try to pat it into place, and then patting down and sliding it down very gently on the nail. I don't want to talk too much in this video because I guess I want you to really see what I'm doing, and then maybe give me some feedback and some constructive criticism on how I did. Okay, so I'll let you watch me do this nail and a few other nails, and then I'll come back. Now, the cuticle is the most intimidating part of this nail. Like, even if I don't get an apex, you know, I could always build that up with clear. Like when I cap it, like I've been told to cap with clear and not try to build an apex with the actual color. But the cuticle is definitely an area that's very intimidating. And I do apologize that I keep bumping my camera and it's shaking all over the place. But once I put the bead down and I try to fill in all of the different spots and try to take off any excess, you know, I definitely struggle with, you know, the acrylic, the cuticle bead the most. But I think I've managed to not flood my cuticles like I did last time. Like I had acrylic going all over the place on my cuticle, on my skin, underneath my fingers, everywhere. So this is definitely progress compared to the last time that I tried to do the cuticle bead. All right, so here's how our nail is looking. Here's our little tiny little apex, and not much of an apex there yet, but we're going to build it up with the clear acrylic powder. So So far, I think the shaping is okay. Could be a little bit better, but it's better than the last thing that I did. All right, so I did go ahead and do the other fingers off camera because, like I said, this was taking me 10,000 years to get done. So here's how the other fingers are looking so far. And they are okay. Like I said, I'm going to build it up with some clear acrylic anyway, but it is there. The cuticle bead is there. So for the index and for the pinky finger, I'm going to be doing a marble. So I'm going to be dipping into several of these colors here and just going to go ahead and create a marble. And then we'll cap that with the clear acrylic powder. I'm also going to add some gold flakes to the marbles as well, just to give it a little bit of color, a little bit of bling, hidden bling. So I just take my brush and just put a little bit of the flakes onto the nail design. All right, so the acrylic nails have been drying for a while. I think it's now time for me to go ahead and cap them with the clear acrylic. I did tap onto the nails to see if there was, like, you know, that little sound that everyone tells you to make. Now, what I will say is I really need to invest in a better brush. I feel like my brush is what's causing me to struggle a lot, and I know that. I am aware of that. Modelones brush is okay. It's okay for a beginner, but I definitely think that if I really want to be serious about improving my acrylic game, I definitely need to invest in a sensible brush. I do have my eye on the Kiara Sky brush. I have been recommended some brushes off of Amazon. I'm trying to remember the name. Was it CADS? KADS, I think, or something else. It was another name. Anywho, I know that I need to definitely invest in a brush because this brush kept splitting into half like it was a hand and it was going all over the place. So definitely gonna invest in that. I'm gonna go ahead and cap these nails now and I'll be right back. All right, here's how the nails are looking so far. I am a little bit tired now, but I have capped them and I think I'm gonna go ahead and file them up and kind of start a little bit of the shaping, see how we are looking in terms of the shape of the nail. So to help me shape these nail, and which is the reason I was talking about the drill bits and the drill at the beginning of this video, is I'm hoping that this is going to help me with the shaping, because usually I would manually try to file the nails. And I was listening to a few YouTubers, and they were saying you need to get the 5-in-1 bit or you need to get the safety bit. And I think for me, I'm going to start off with the safety bit. And as I get used to the nail drill, I'll definitely, try to get that 5-in-1. Which I think is going to really clean up that cuticle area, because even after filing and using this e-file, this electric drill, I felt like the cuticle still needed a little bit more attention. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and file these nails, and then I'll be right back. Now that I'm done with the e-file, now I'm going to take my 100-180 file, and now I'm just going to file around the edges to make them a little bit more sharper, and then buff over the top of the nail to make them smoother. And then we're going to finish this off with a little bit of top coat. All right, so here's how the nails are looking. That pinky finger did come off on me because I was filing too hard. You know, I have peel off base coat underneath there, so that's holding on to dear life. And I put some rhinestones to kind of hide that it was lifting. But anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoyed and maybe had a little laugh at this acrylic application. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.